I would suggest the first thing we need to do is look at the what's the outcome, what you're trying to achieve, where do you want to go, what do you want to do with it, because there's certain circumstances where you're limited. If it's a spin studio, you're going to be pretty restricted on choice. Yes, you can look at footprint, how big are the machines, different bikes, different sizes. That's the same for treadmills, that's the same for cross trainers, that's the same for functional units, that's the same for everything. So you're going to be limited in some circumstances. Now, there's a few ways that we work where we try and give people or advise people on how they can best get the use out of their space. Now, first one, obviously flooring, was a big part of what we do. So we're using different color floor, do we go with solid blacks, do we go with colored fleck, do we use a percentage of fleck, do we go with solid brighter colors? Generally, lighter colors tend to make it a little bit bigger. Secondly, flooring-wise, do we, as well as the colors, do we talk about, we prefer to use a level surface. So to give you an example of that, where maybe if there's a platform, so if someone wants a load of lifting platforms, straight away, if you drop a 60 or an 80mm lifting platform on a floor, you've then got steps. So it's not level, you're restricted on what you can do around the space, and those platforms pretty much dictate what goes on there. Whereas if you can get involved with the build at this early stage, we can sink the platforms into the floor. Yeah, so we can build the drop zones within the flooring. That's the ideal world. That doesn't happen that often. Potentially, if we can't do that, then we can still, obviously when we lay the rubber, we can still provide build-ups so that those build-ups make the floor appear level, and that obviously will make the space look bigger, and you get added functionality at the same time, because those platforms then, you don't have to lift weights on them, you can do anything on them. I would suggest that the industry has a habit of overselling kit. So, a lot of providers will try, at the end of the day, everyone needs to make money. They're trying to they'll fill your gym. Yeah, I think there's an element of oversell. So they'll just want to put as many cross trainers, treadmills, bikes, steppers as they can possibly fit in your space. Now, obviously, I think people just need to stay strong to the values. If it's a functional space, let's make it functional. Let's leave it open. Let's leave it clear. Let's make it. Let's bespoke it. Let's do the whole thing, the whole storage concept. Every set of dumbbells comes with a storage rack, pretty much. Now, it's the case for me of saying, I don't want your rack. We're going to bespoke you a rack. So we don't provide anything. Now we hold no stock. Everything that we build is bespoke. It's not modular. It's bespoke. So whether that be a functional rig. So we can use the walls, we can use posts, we can use pillars, we can use the ceiling, we can have a rig where it doesn't even touch the floor, depending on structure. Obviously that limits due to a point. But everything's bespoke. Yeah, don't be fooled by the whole modular, it comes in lengths, that's what it is. There's a limitation of what you can do. Whereas same with rigs and storage, let's look at your spaces, let's look at where you've got alcoves, let's build you storage either into those alcoves, let's build you storage within your rig, so it's hidden behind legs. Yeah. There's a million and one ways we can bespoke things, and I would strongly suggest that the future of the industry lies around bespoke. Okay, so how do we make a space look bigger when we get a small studio or a small space? We can use colours. We tend to use lighter colours. We can add a lighter colour to the floor. We have a range of colours. We range from black, solid black, to an off black, a grey, all the way through to your solid colours. So to the point where we don't do much white floor, but even turf. We have now white turf, black turf, green turf. There's an endless amount of colour throughout the whole spectrum. Our range allows us to do that, which is quite unique. So colour is a great way to make a space look bigger if you do it properly. Let's say the walls, the same principle. Mirrors are obviously an old school way of making the room look bigger, which works. There's no denying that. So really, that's the main thing with regards to colour and how we use colour in the walls and in the flooring. Now, bespoke, again, we keep hitting on bespoke. Bespoke is, to be truly bespoke, you have to be able to stand with someone and sit with someone and say, you tell me what you want, you will get exactly what you want. That's not a case of, well, we're limited to this amount of size or this length or this height. It's your gym, it's your space, we'll give you exactly what you want. There's no limitation. Okay, so what kit to choose to make the most out of the space you've got? Massive variation in space. Some clubs, we're at Gym Box Farringdon now, it's huge, it's massive, it's ginormous. So even then they have to select what kit they want carefully, because they've got a lot of members and they need to get everybody in. So with regards to what we provide, we were talking before about functional rigs and how you can integrate a functional rig into a space. Most places now, the industry now is very hip focused, very short, sharp interval training focused, very weight training focused. All that type of kit can be bespoke. All that type of kit can be manufactured to help to best use that space. And again, as I've already mentioned, we don't do standard. And there's some great products out there. So the industry is full of amazing products. Our competitors, again, very, very strong. But when it comes to kit, it's stuff that folds against the wall. Can you have benches that fold against the wall? Can you have racks that fold against the wall? Can you start to integrate maybe within your functional training rig? Can you build half racks into that? And with that, then you select your floor and you select the bits and pieces around that floor and the way that floor is built up to enable you to be able to do that. So you don't need platforms. So, we don't really sell that many lifting platforms anymore. Unless you're Olympic lifting or you're big, the platforms, we tend to build them into the floor where we have the opportunity to. Footprint of kit. So, popular bits of kit now, like your skier and your Concept 2, where you can stand it against the wall. They're all in line with current industry trend. CrossFit, they're the sort of types of bit of kit you need, and they don't take up much space. I think the whole treadmill, cross trainer, some treadmills are huge, ginormous, great things that take up a massive amount of space. Whereas a lot of our customers now, it's all about space. Give me space. We want recent tenders where we're talking about the remit is give me as much space as I can have, because I want a team of 15, 20, 25 rugby players in here training. I want them all to be able to work out. I want them all to have the maximum use of the kit. So a lot of it is just open space. Appreciate that the industry is vast. There are a lot of places that still have a lot of cardio, still have a lot of fixed resistance. And again, for me, I would suggest that people look at their footprint, look at what's there, look at what your outcome is, go back to the basics and say, right, what do I actually want? What do my members want? Do I want loads of cardio? Do I want do I want powerless treads? Do I want to start getting into the realms of powerless treads, which again are a very trendy thing at the moment that's come along, obviously massive benefits. So I think you have to be careful about what you choose. Again, don't be driven, don't be railroaded, because people will try and fill your gym full of kit. And I would suggest that you may not want your gym full of kit. It could be, we'll give you extra kit, it can be cheap. We'll give you an extra this much off. Get what you want. Be focused on what you want and then select carefully. Okay, so how do we adapt our functional offering to get most use out of space? I'm going to go back to what we are all about. We stand for bespoke. Bespoke is, I feel, the way forward. Don't get a space and plonk a functional training rig in the middle of it. Yeah, there's time for that. Yeah, there's budgets that mean that there is no other choice. That's all you can do. But even then, let's make sure if you're going to drop something in the middle of a room, let's make sure it's right. Let's make sure everything that is on that unit is exactly how you want it. And don't be driven by, oh, well, that's how it comes. You've got that, it's that width, it's that length. No, it's not. It might be for them. Let's make you something that suits exactly what you want.